Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. If you are joining this live stream for the first time, my name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I have a bachelor's degree in education, a master's degree in counseling, a master's degree extension in mental health counseling with this certification as a dating and relationship coach. And I primarily, but not exclusively, work with singles to help them find the partner they deserve. I also work with couples to help strengthen their relationships moving forward. I want to thank those who are joining the live stream. Thank you, Wardrobe Healing. Welcome. Welcome, Arthur. Welcome, Nancy. Welcome, Aquarius E. Get Fit with Tiff. Thank you for showing up and showing out each and every time. Welcome, Tiana Robinson. Thank you for joining. Vivian, Queening. Sarah, thank you for joining. If you are new to my page, please let me know your name and your location so that I can welcome you into the land of love. And if you want to continue to receive alerts from me and not just wait for Instagram to pop me up, I want you to go ahead and type the word align to 21,000. I'm putting it in the comments. Text the word align to 21,000 so that you can get access to free trainings, free workshops, discounted rates, and alerts for every time that I go live. Welcome, Gina from Arizona. Let me tell you, is it Gina? Okay, good. Let me tell you, Gina, Arizona has a special place in my heart. I don't know why. I have never gone. No, wait, Arizona. No, I never gone, but I want to go, and for some reason it's calling my name. Welcome, Holly Berry. Welcome, Nurse Jazzy. Thank you for joining. Dorothea, thank you for joining. Raymond. All right, so if you are new, hi Anthony from North Carolina, hi Tyrone. If you are new and you haven't introduced yourself, that's a-okay. But I want to tell you how all this thing works. So I normally go live about 3 times a week, and one of those times is Wednesday. My summer hours are 12 noon. And I go live to do this live Q&A. So normally how it works, if someone were to work with me, they would have to book a session, 30 minutes or an hour, for us to do a deep dive on whatever particular issue they're facing, either by themselves or with their partner, or they could join my coaching program, The Partner You Deserve, where I walk you through how to date successfully. But there's some folks who are not in a position to afford sessions, or they're cheap and they don't want to invest in themselves, which is a-okay. So this is my opportunity to give back to the community once a week through my live Q&A. But I do this professionally. And so if you're looking to talk about your particular issues, please go ahead and click the link in my bio, and you can book either a one-on-one session, or if you think you'd be a good fit for my 8-week-long coaching program, go ahead and click the link in my bio so that you can schedule a complimentary call for the coaching session, right? Like, not for you as an individual. All right. So Instagram is acting funny as usual. So instead of me being able to go to the story that I post every Tuesday, where folks can then go ahead and just put their question in, and then usually I could just swipe up and I can read the question and then give a response. Unfortunately, for the last couple of weeks, Instagram hasn't been allowing that. So what I've been having to do is I have to screenshot the question as it comes in, if I see it amongst all of the other alerts and the likes and the comments and the this and the that. So unfortunately, I may miss some people's questions. I do have a little bit of time to take questions in the question queue. The question queue is at the bottom of your screen with the little question mark. So I may have a little bit of time for that, but I do have to go to the DMV, so I don't have all day long. Let's jump right into it. And if you are also new, the expectation is that you're giving feedback. This is not one-sided, right? So I'm going to read the question. Hey, Malika Fantab. I'm going to read the question, and I am going to respond. And I also want to hear from you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and read your comments with your name so that we can hear from you. All these questions are submitted anonymously. All right. So first question. This young lady asks, is it better to live together before marriage? Is it better? Take all your stuff to the DMV. Trust me, I already packed a bag. But thank you, Malik. Is it better to live together before marriage? Welcome, Christy. How you doing, babes? All right. So I'm going to give you my interpretation of what the Christian response would be, and I'm assuming what the other religions would say, right? And then I'm going to give you my response, and then you have to decide based on what's a good fit for you. I do not believe, yes, we had this question before, Tiff. We have this question all the time, but it's okay. I do not believe that in the old saying with why would you buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? I understand the logic of the exact sentence, right? Why would you buy the cow if you get the milk for free? I understand it, however, I am not a slave to it. And so I think it would be beneficial for two people to move in and live in the same place so that they are getting a true assessment of who this person is before taking the plunge of marriage. They see how they function in the space, how they clean the space, how they maintain the space. And so I don't think that it's a terrible and absolute no, in my opinion. And again, if you are a believer, like a super strong believer, right, then you may believe different. That's perfectly okay. I don't think that it's a terrible idea. Now, what I would say is I would not move in with someone unless they have expressed to me that they have the intention of marrying me. Nor would I move in with someone that I do not have the intention of marrying, right? So when we're moving in together, it isn't why would he buy the cow if he can get the milk for free, because he already told me that he intends on buying the cow. So I am not concerned. And if I don't believe him, then we have bigger problems to deal with than whether or not one should get married versus one should move in, right? If someone, your partner, tells you that I believe in the sanctity of marriage, I see us being together, and that's where I intend to go, and you don't believe that, then you have bigger problems to deal with than whether or not you're moving in with somebody or whether or not they're going to try to use or abuse you, right? You don't trust them. That's bigger than anything that we're discussing. I would trust my partner. That's the only reason I would be with them. And if they say that this is their vision for their life, which I talk about all the time, the vision for their life, and I fit that vision, then I'm not concerned about, oh no, I'm going to move in together, he's going to get too comfortable, then he's never going to want to marry me. I wouldn't have those concerns. Let's see. Dave the Great says, I say live together first. You learn so much more once you live together. Tyrone says that's a good opinion. Thank you, Tyrone. Tisha says, so live together after engagement. That's an option for you too. That's an option, right? I can tell you my parents who are Christians, and they got married in the 70s, they lived together after they were engaged. And my mom felt comfortable with that. So it really is your level of comfort. For me, you're asking me because it's my life, right? For me, I would live with the person first, but only if my intention was to potentially marry them and they've expressed that and I believe it. And if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be with them. It depends. If it works out, then yes, but sometimes you don't know until you actually do it. Yeah, you won't know whether or not it's going to work out. So I'm going to invest the time to move in together first to see how the person functions, and then I'll decide accordingly. But they need to have the same intentions as me, okay? Somebody said most likely you already had a glass of milk. Yeah, you already had a glass. But I think the expression why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free is not only talking about sex. I think that expression is also talking about the benefits of living, particularly with a woman, especially in a more traditional functionality, right? Like, we know that the expression is older, and maybe in 2021, modern women are not staying home barefoot and pregnant, cooking and cleaning and things of that nature, but that's where the expression comes from. So the fear is out of that expression that if a woman were to move in with a gentleman and she's functioning like his wife, and he's getting the fringe benefits of that faux wifedom, right? We making up phrases today. Then why would he invest? But I also think as a modern woman, then you can always leave, right? Like if you feel as though you're being taken advantage of in any circumstance, moving in or not living together, if you feel as though this person does not appreciate you and is taking advantage of you and is not fulfilling the word that they said that they would fulfill, then you should be moving on. Absolutely. Great point about living together before marriage, getting to know the partner. Question, can you relate that to dating? Time invested in knowing someone over time. I need a little bit more than that, author. If that's the question that may have already been submitted, I'm going to get to it. All right, but that doesn't give me the clarity I'm looking for. I do want to stop for a second and thank everybody for purchasing a badge thus far. Japa Black, thank you. Wellington Event Rentals, thank you. Culinary Chrissy who I just spent some amazing time with this weekend at an event. She's an excellent cook and chef. Denicia, I hope I got that right. Lovely Choka and Simone, thank you for all purchasing badges. Y'all coming through today, and I thank you. And thank you for everybody who's joining. All right, moving on to the next question. And as I told you guys, unfortunately, Instagram is acting up. But guess what? It's a free platform that many of us enjoy, so beggars can't be choosers. Normally, I can just go to my story from yesterday that has all the questions, swipe up, and then I can read them. But for whatever reason, it's not working out for me. So I had to screenshot questions as they came up on my feed, and they got mixed in with lots of comments and likes and arguments that folks be having. So I may have not gotten everybody, and I do apologize in advance if I don't get to it. I do have some time, just a little bit. I have to go to the DMV and get a new license because I've already changed my name legally through my social security card, but I always need a license so I can have some ID. So I cannot be Alison Williams some days and Alison Wellington other days, and I don't know what my name is in any given hour. It's quite annoying. So I got to get to the DMV. So if you do have questions, drop it in, especially if you asked me yesterday and I don't get to it today. All right. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. Someone asked, have any of your clients been successful in dating online? Have any of your clients been successful in dating online? Okay, so let's talk about this. Y'all know me, I'm gonna go off and then I'm gonna come back to answer the question. Online dating is one method that one can use in order to date successfully. Online dating has two sides. One side of it is using dating apps. The other side is using the internet to meet people. Dating apps are super clear. We're all on this account to be involved romantically. It can be only sexual, it can be casual dating, it can be long-term relationship, it can be marriage, it can be whatever. But at least everybody who's on here wants to meet each other in some romantic fashion. I love that because I am an extremely direct person. I like directness. And so having a location where we're all relatively looking for the same thing, romance, speaks volumes for me, and I love it. And this is not 1999, where only pathetic people went on dating apps, right? Like, especially as a result of COVID, it had, I think, like 700% increase in folks who were creating dating profiles during COVID. So that is gone. That ideology is gone. It doesn't exist. You're not pathetic. You're not a loser. There's not only weirdos on dating apps. You are wrong. I am right. And that's it. Right? So that's dating online using dating apps. The other side of it is using the internet to date. Right? How do you do that? You're on Instagram. You're on Facebook. You slide into somebody's DMs. You send them a PM. Right? You join Facebook groups of people who have a similar interest, who are in your city or your town. You're socializing, you're networking, and as a result, that's how you meet someone. So that's internet dating, either using a dating app, which is straightforward and I love it, or using the internet to meet people and date. Then you have what I call organic dating. That is when you meet someone in public. That is happenstance, right? That is, I am walking through the supermarket and someone comes across my eye, they approach me, they say, oh, those are lovely avocados, we laugh, we talk, we exchange numbers. I go to brunch, I'm with a friend, not a football team, because who's gonna approach you when they have to break through the defense line, I probably said that wrong, but y'all get the point, in order to get access to the kicker? I don't know. The quarterback? Whoever. The guy who's protected behind the line. Y'all get my point. So I go to brunch with a friend. I look amazing. I smell great. I'm smiling. I'm welcoming. My body language is open. I don't have on the screw face. Someone walks up to me. I see a gentleman. I check his hand. I don't see a ring. I walk up to him. I introduce myself. Not me, but you get the point, right? That is organic dating. So we're all on the same page. So the question was, has online dating worked for my clients? Thank you, Tisha, for the analogy. I know I got all the language wrong, but y'all understand what I'm saying. Okay. Has online dating worked for my clients? Yes. Has online dating not worked for my clients? Yes. And I'll tell you why. The answer is yes for both of them. If you believe something won't work for you, it will not work. If you believe something will not work for you, it will not work. If you believe something will not happen for you, it will not happen. If you believe that all men ain't shit and all women ain't shit and right, oh, I'm so valuable and there's no high value men and blah, 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 you are absolutely right. Because you're going to exude the energy of I'm too good for you, don't approach me, right? You're going to exude the energy of screw face, body language nasty and stink. Then who's going to approach you, right? You are too good, so you're not going to do any of the approaching. Women are out here to use me, so you're never going to ask a woman on a date because everyone's trying to use you for a meal. That's not true. Get over it, right? And so if you believe that it's never going to happen for you and dating apps don't work for you, you're not going to download a dating app. You're not going to pay for them because guess what? You get what you pay for, right? You are not going to do any kind of Google, YouTube, live stream session with me or somebody else to find out what kind of photos should I be posting, how should I be answering these questions, how straight up should I be, right? You're not gonna put in the work in order to make yourself an attractive human being inside and out that somebody would want. So you're absolutely right. Dating apps don't work for everybody because they're not working it. For some people, dating apps are amazing balls. They meet somebody in 3 weeks, they're dating, they're happy, they delete the app, they move on with their lives. Sometimes a relationship lasts because that can happen organically too. Sometimes they don't last because that can happen when you meet people organically too. But either way it goes, everything works. Diet works, exercise works, keto works, the South Beach diet works, veganism works, right? But you can also then be a vegetarian, that works. And you're a vegetarian and you're eating French fries that are deep fried 3 meals a day. You're not gonna be healthy. Everything works if you work it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I saw some facts, all facts, yes and yes, LOL. Ha! Somebody said I like you too, girl. Letitia, love this facts. Ooh, I be spitting. Pin that Cash App. I can't pin it, but I can put it in there. I'll put it in just because you asked. I mean, this ain't my normal swag, but I think that's it. That might be it. This is what happens when you change your name when you get married, ladies. It's mad stressful. It's worth it, but it's mad stressful. I think that's my Cash App name. All right. So has any of my clients had success? Absolutely. I'm actually going to do a live stream on Monday with a young lady who listened to my advice, got on Bumble, and she is now engaged to be married. I just went to her engagement party. I had another client. Thank you, Paris. I had another client who I had one session with. She did organic dating. She found her partner. She's engaged to be married. She's having a baby boy. Like, yes, it can work. You have to be strategic. You have to invest in yourself. Everything works. A trainer works or a trainer doesn't work. It's not about them. It's about you. All right? I've absolutely had amazing success with clients thus far with dating and organic or online dating and organic dating. And I've had some clients who have struggled with both. And I'm still working with them because that's what I do. I don't leave folks to figure it out on their own, but they have to be willing to put in the work or they won't be successful. And that's in life. In life. All right, let me see if I can find the rest of these questions. Thank you, guys. I want to give a shout out to everyone who just purchased a badge. Alex, thank you. Worldwide Walt. Oh, hey, Paris. Gigi. B1BJ, thank you for purchasing a badge. Tisha Rose, thank you for purchasing a badge. I think you were Delta 1913. All right, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Regal Cordier says, I just love that you subconsciously empower a woman to not feel shame for wanting love and to find a special someone in this area of a gender war on Black love. I absolutely agree with you. And I cannot lie. Some of my posts are, what's the word, incendiary? I think so. That's the word of the day, if that's right. Don't correct me in the comments. Because sometimes I'm going to post things that may be pro-man, pro-woman, whatever, because I want to get the engagement, I want to get the conversation growing and going, right? But I think for the most part, I try to do the best I can to be balanced and to hold both parties accountable. And what I'm definitely always going to do is hold my client accountable. Whoever hires me doesn't need me to blame everybody else for what's going wrong. We're not here to talk about what Johnny did and what Tom did and what your daddy did, and that's not going to get you the results. What's going to get you the results is it's for you to do the internal work so you're not bringing the baggage of your former relationship into some new thing, And then now when things are falling apart, you don't know why, because you're holding somebody accountable for some stuff they ain't do, right? For them to find out what are some of the undesirable traits about them so that they could start becoming more desirable, right? We talk a lot about, especially women talk a lot about there's no quality men out there. Maybe there are, and they're looking past you because you got a nasty behavior that they don't want to be a part of. Maybe that, right? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you can be successful both online and offline. For the most part, we're looking post-COVID minus the Delta variant. So cities are opening up. That means that we have the opportunity to do online and offline dating. You're paying me to work with you. We're not only going to do organic dating. You're paying me to work with you. We're not only going to do online dating. We're going to use every avenue that's afforded to us so that we can quicken the process. Working with me, listening to me, going on a master class. I like to equate myself to Waze. I love Waze. Or Google Maps, but I like Waze, right? Can you find a partner on your own? Absolutely, if you believe you can. Absolutely. Do you want to quicken the process? Hire someone that you trust. It doesn't have to be me. And just like I tell you guys to vet whoever you date, I need you to vet me or vet any other coach. And that's why I always lead with, I have a bachelor's degree in education, I have a master's degree in counseling, I have a master's degree extension in mental health counseling, and I am a certified coach, been in business for, what's today? Is today the 29th or the 28th? Whatever date it is. Almost a year, July 29th, okay? So, and I had the testimonials to prove it. But we're gonna move on. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for letting me go off for a second and talk my ish. All right, so I also got some DMs, people who are not following the instructions. And normally the teacher in me says, if you don't follow the instructions, I do not follow suit. Okay, today's the 28th, so tomorrow is a year in. Normally the teacher in me says, if you don't follow the instructions, then I don't follow what you've asked of me. But I'm gonna make an exception and advise people that yes, the question, it's okay. The question box that's in my stories every Tuesday is where I get my questions from. I read the questions, I give feedback, I read what you guys have to say, we talk, we converse, we engage. It is a limited amount of characters. You need to figure out how to fit it in there. Like, that means that you're talking too much, no disrespect, and that means that you need to book a session. So yes, you need to put it in the stories on Tuesday. If the characters are too long, if you need to give me that much context, that means we need to be on the phone, which means I need to be paid for my services, as every professional should. So moving forward, please make sure that you put your question in the question box. If it can't fit, that means you need to leave the story, click the link in my bio, and schedule a 30-minute or a 60-minute alignment call, depending on what your needs are. All right, I'll make an exception today. We're not doing it moving forward. The question I received was, and see, this is why it's too long and not right. I'd like for you to address new dating interactions. For example, this sounds like a phone call. Guy and girl starts talking online, then transition to phone or in person. Girl quickly writes off guy after a few dates and stops talking to him because she's impatient with her results, getting to know the guy over time in a normal way, and concludes in her head the worst. What would you say to that? Because it's a common issue. Everything isn't fantasy romance, and if the end goal is a real life connection for good, how can that behavior be fruitful? All right, so I'm gonna summarize that because again, we gotta go. Girls or women, right, writing off guys after a few dates because she's impatient. All right. I think that this is an issue of perhaps two people not being on the same page in regards to what their dating experience is going to be like, right? Everyone has a right to write other people off. Everyone has a right to write people off. If you are not happy with the conversation, if you think the person is an inappropriate match, if you think the person doesn't align with what you're looking for, y'all know me, I talk about this every week. I do not like ghosting. I think if the person is a decent human being, they deserve something. Hey, it was a pleasure going out with you, but I don't think we're on the same page and I wish you the best of luck. If you're afraid they're going to curse you out, then you could block them right after. But I think everyone who's a decent human being deserves some type of closure, right? But anyone has a right to write you off whenever they see fit. That's just what it is, right? Now, if the issue is that this woman is impatient, because she feels like perhaps this dating circumstance should be going faster, then perhaps she's just not an appropriate match for you. Perhaps you need to be meeting people who are interested in a longer dating courtship. But I would assume that if someone's cutting you off after a few dates, I don't think that has anything to do with impatience. I think you might be reading the room wrong. Because what kind of expectations would a woman have after a few dates? I count few as FEW, right? So if she has FEW dates with you, what's the impatience? And within 3 dates, it is normal to be having conversations, getting to know each other. I would need more context to understand what are these women expecting from you within a few dates that you think that she's being impatient. I don't think anybody expects you to drop down on a knee. I don't think anybody expects you to become engaged or to move in. So it may be that you're reading the room wrong, and it's not an issue of her being impatient, or maybe it's an issue of them just not being interested, which is okay, because just as many women who won't be interested will be. There is more than one person on this earth for us. We will all face rejection. There are people that you wouldn't even look twice at, and there are some people who won't even look twice at you. So because you have the right to choose who you want to be with, ergo, everybody else does, and so you can be rejected. I'm just concerned that this is not an issue of impatience. I'm concerned more that this is where these women are just not interested after a few dates, and that is okay. I would need more context, which means I would need to be paid. Click the link in my bio, tap on alignment call for 30 minutes if you feel like that's what you need, or an alignment call for an hour if you need more time, okay? Yes, Serenity, it made you cringe. This is why we need calls, which is okay. Which is okay. And somebody else DM'd me. See, this is why DMs don't work, because then I need to like find them and I don't know where they are. This is me using my trusty iPad. Ooh, child. Somebody else DM me. Dang. So what I would have to do if I didn't get to your DM question, because I am making an exception this time and I will not do it moving forward, DM me and I'll answer you, because now I can't find the DM. Ergo, follow the system. But you didn't know, and that's okay, and I love you anyway. This is just me, you know, being the, like I said, I have a bachelor's degree in education. So this is just the teacher in me, and now I can't find what you asked me. Now I feel bad. So DM me, and I will respond to you. I'll give you a full-on response. No worries. But now we know, put it in the stories, okay? Question box. Okay. So, ooh, this is a good one. Thank you for saying. I say this all the time. So the question is, every woman's ex is a narcissist. Every man's ex is crazy. Somebody's lying. What say you? What say you? Like, this is like a courthouse. I love it. I watch Law and Order. What say you? Okay. Man, I literally said this yesterday, and I say this all the time. And I'm guilty because I use the term toxic too. Toxic, narcissist, and there's another term that I'm so flippin' tired of. Everybody's not a narcissist. Stop. Sometimes we all exhibit narcissistic tendencies, which you can Google, right? And we all exhibit them because they're a part of the human experience. However, everybody's not a narcissist. And if you were dating a narcissist, I'm sorry, Google how to avoid it. I talked about it on the live stream before. It's here and it's on my YouTube at Align with Alison. How to avoid it. It's not everybody. It cannot be everybody. I'm going to tell this story, okay? Let me tell this story. Even though I did already curse today, and I usually try not to curse on the live, but I'm going to curse again to prove a point, or to illustrate this point. I've said this before. I had a professor in my graduate program who said, if one person calls you an asshole, they are an asshole for calling you an asshole. If 3 people call you an asshole, they are all assholes for calling you an asshole. If 5 people call you an asshole, guess what? You're probably an asshole. It cannot be everybody that you dated is crazy. It cannot be everybody that you dated is a narcissist. You may be the narcissist. You may be the crazy one. Or let's have the conversation of what are you doing in this relationship that is, sorry girl, y'all, my phone is on 20%. What are you doing in your relationships that you seem to be dating normal people, and then out of nowhere they start exhibiting these behaviors? Do you constantly cheat? And so now you're getting reactions that look like crazy people. Folks are angry, folks are crying. There may be some overreaction, it might break some things. Not the best reaction, but what you are a participant in this, right? Are you constantly lying? Are you what's the other phrase that people use too much and they overuse? Gaslighting, right? Like, what are you doing? How are you participating in this? Why do you keep choosing people who are seemingly crazy? What does that say about you? Lack of discernment, codependence, I don't know what else, but you get the point. We need to stop blaming others for our circumstances. You are either choosing poorly each and every time, which is on you, or you driving these people crazy each and every time, which is on you. We got to stop with the blame. As long as you blame everybody else for your problems are forever going to continue. Because unless you take the reins and take control over your life, whatever that may be, your salary, your romance, your weight, your whatever you're struggling with, did I say finances already? This is your life. Take accountability and take action. Do something. Stop blaming everybody else. They cannot save you. Okay? And I saw a licensed therapist on here, and I definitely want to read his comment. This is Mac. Talk to Mac_therapist says, those that have a history of dating a narcissist usually have a predisposition to being treated badly in relationships. So that's why you need to holler at a licensed therapist, like Talk to Mac_therapist. You need to hire someone who's going to help you to unpack, and that's another term that's overused, and I apologize in advance, but it just sounds so good. Your traumas, your issues, so that you can enter into the dating scene with a clean slate and start over. I do my free discovery calls to talk about my coaching program, and I ask a series of questions to assess where the person is now and where they want to be. And believe you me, I have rejected more than one person because I've come to the conclusion in 15 minutes that they don't need a dating and relationship coach. They need a therapist. I know they say therapy is for everybody, and I agree with that. However, there's some people who cannot function and move on to the next stage of their life without stopping what they're doing and seeking a therapist immediately. There is no shame in that. Everybody needs help. We do not have all of the skills necessary to function in a fulfilling way in life. We don't. I don't know how to build, so we hired people to build our amazing backyard. Check out the stories, right? I don't know how to braid. I hired somebody to braid my hair. I didn't know how to drive. I hired somebody to teach me how to drive. You need to hire people to help you. If you are not investing in yourself, who else will? No one, as they shouldn't. You need to be working on the best version of you. And I'm specifically talking about single people or those who are struggling in their romantic relationships currently. Invest in yourself so you can become the best version of you, so you can attract the people that you claim you deserve, and your salary alone does not decide what you deserve. Or you can build a stronger, more healthy relationship with your partner. Stop being cheap. Invest in you, or you're going to end up with the same problems over and over again, and then you're surprised at why you can't grow and develop as a human being. This is why. This is why. This is going to be the last question, and then this will be available in my IGTV reel on my page for a couple of days, and depending on how I look and if I get a good still. Actually, no, let me try that now. Okay, thank you. Y'all don't know how hard I have to work to find like the cover. Anywho, and it'll also be on my YouTube at Align with Alison. Please go ahead and subscribe and support the YouTube page as well. Thank you, Arthur. I'm actually just about to take it out because I gotta go take a new picture and I'm not happy about it at the DMV. I just took a picture in December. It is the best picture I've ever taken in my entire life at the DMV, and they're gonna make me take it over, and I'm not happy. So I'm gonna take out these rinky-dink braids and my struggle baby hairs. This was a struggle, y'all. I look like I'm from 92. And try to go with wild hair and hope that the wildness of my hair kind of fixes whatever my face is gonna look like. Anywho, let me take this last question, and thank you all for hanging on, for supporting, for purchasing badges, for joining the live stream, for being a part of my VIP list. You want to be a part of the VIP list, you want to get alerts about when I am going on, text the word ALIGN to 21,000. Please, somebody in the comments, do me a favor and type it. Text the word ALIGN, ALIGN, to 21,000. 1000. Get those alerts. Be reminded of who you need to be and how you need to search in order to find the partner you deserve. Last question, and I'm going to go get ready to go to the DMV. So I have a question, okay? I started redating a guy again from my past. I asked him to call me every night before he goes to sleep, and he never does. It's like he disappears every night. I think he is not willing or able to commit or take me seriously. I'm ready for it to be over and move on with my life. Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot. So I'm going to try to take this in 2 parts, okay? Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Regal. Thank you, Malika. All right, so the first part of this is you're asking him to call you every night and he never does. Are you calling him? Are you telling him to call you every night so that you can monitor his location? Or are you asking him to call you because she in danger, girl? Or are you asking him to call you because you want to have a conversation before you go to sleep? If you're asking for a phone call because you want to have a conversation, okay. He's not your man. He's not obligated to call you every day. If you are asking him to call you every day because you're trying to monitor his location, he is not your man. He's not obligated to let you know where he is. And even if he was, that's still dependent on the couple. And the fact that you have to track him means that you don't trust him. So why would you want to be with him? If you have to track someone's location, if that's the reason, because that's what I presume by the second sentence. I asked him to call me every night before he goes to sleep and he never does. It's like he disappears every night. So I'm assuming that's the reason, right? Then that means you don't trust him, so why you want to be with him for? Okay, so that's a goodbye. And goodness, I'm trying to get back to this question. And then the second part, which is, I think he is not willing or able to commit or take me seriously. Okay, so that's what you think. That's what you think, right? Based on whatever you've assembled, I need more context to know exactly what you've gathered to get to that conclusion, other than the lack of phone calls. Because guess what, sis? He could call you every night and then go leave and be with his girl. He can tell you I go to sleep at 10:30 and then go to his girl's house at 11. So that's not proof or evidence, but okay. I think he's not willing or able to commit or take me seriously. I'm ready for it to be over and move on with your life. Then you ain't got no question for me. You ready. And I'm glad, because you don't trust this guy. You think that he's a liar. You think that he's doing things at night. You don't trust him. So I am glad about the fact that you are ready to move on. I'm so glad, right? We got some comments. Joanna says, she in danger, girl. Malika says, that's a bit much in my opinion, having an expectation someone calls you every night before they go to sleep. And even if that was my man, I still think that's a lot. She also says, call him if you want to talk. Tiffany says, Molly, you a danger, girl. Mo says, that's too much. Girl, move on. Rico says, bro, where did Alison come from? Why don't more women think like you? I think that we do. I think that just some people don't come online and express it, right? And again, we need to talk about why you may be attracting the types of women who are not reasonable. I'm just a reasonable person, that's all, and articulate, and like to share my opinions. But other than that, I think there's plenty of reasonable women. This ideology of like, oh, women are unstable creatures is absolutely I need water. Fabricated. I don't believe it exists. I believe that humans are unstable creatures, and you have a lot of dudes who are unstable. But thank you for the compliment. He probably never does because he doesn't owe it to you. He might be going home and with someone else. Did you have the conversation about commitment? So I don't know if she had a blatant conversation. I know you're not asking me, but she didn't have a blatant conversation, but she said that he seemingly is unwilling or unable. So if you're unwilling, if he seems to be unwilling or unable, yes, Gordo's mom says, move on. BB says, never look back, just like J-Lo. Not like J-Lo, right? Now, let me tell you that my husband is someone that I used to date. We were dating when I was 18. We separated amicably. I always have a hard time with that word. And when Malika's on, I get a lot of pressure because she always wants me to speak well and read right, and I can't do it when she's on. But don't leave. Stay on, Malika. We broke out without a problem, and we were able to reunite, and it wasn't an issue. So I don't have a problem with you redating someone. but the expectations are pretty high for someone that you're not committed to. Tiff says, if you're redating, did he do this in the past? That is a great question. Move on and work on your expectations. See, Miss Fina 1920 says, I'm reasonable. We're reasonable. What I would highly recommend, if you're not in a position to book a call, which is A-okay, that's not everybody, I want you to go ahead and click the link in my bio, scroll down to free resources, and click on the ebook Move On Sis. It has 5 steps for you to take to help you to move on. Why don't you have a large glass of water? Yeah, because I'm in a rush, that's why. So I was actually on the phone before I even got on, and then I had to gel these down. I'm in a rush because this is my life. This is the New York City life. And I didn't grab my water before I should have. But nonetheless, I'll be fine. I'll recuperate. Sometimes spinning the block may take you to your husband or wife. Sometimes. Yeah, I agree, laid back kid. She has answered all of her own questions. And a lot of times, that's what we do. Like, we know the answer, but it's just helpful to hear from an unbiased voice. I don't know her. I don't know the guy. And so I have no dog in this fight. So sometimes you just want to hear from someone else. Like, am I bugging? Is just this me? And I'm glad that she's already to a point where she knows that this is just an inappropriate match. But sometimes you just need that hard and tough love. All right, folks, I'm outie. I got to go. Pray for me that I take an amazing photo. I don't think I'm going to see the photo. Or maybe I'll see it, but I won't get the actual ID, at least not in New York City, which sucks. But when I get it, I'm going to post a picture of the photo, blocking out all my information. Either to laugh at myself because I look ridiculous, or to be thankful because they made an exception for me and they let me use my last photo, which is not going to happen. Or I look amazing because I just look amazing. All right, beautiful people, it has been a pleasure. Go ahead and click the link in my bio. If you need any free resources, scroll down to the free 99. And once you check out the free 99, you know that the paid 99 is amazing, as per my favorite business coach at King Ashley Ann. She always says that if the free 99 is popping, then you know that the paid 99 is going to be amazing. Adios, amigos.